You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Good day to you, sir.
And right back at you guys. How you doing there, Smalls?
Super duper.
Better than I deserve.
Honky Dory in Smallville.
Yeah.
Steve Miller, who we were talking about just...
I like Steve Miller.
Steve Miller is 77 today.
Holy
Okay.
cow.
I know, right?
We saw him a few years ago when he was just 75.
Another rocker who I really like, Sir Bob Geldof.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Bob Geldof from Boomtown Rats. And, of course, he put Live Aid together.
Yes.
Back in the mid-'80s. He's 69 today.
Nice.
Actress Kate Winslet.
She died on the Titanic.
She did. She's 45 today. And
She didn't she?
There would be no Big Mac without this man, Ray Kroc.
Ah, yeah.
Went on to actually own the San Diego Padres for quite a while, too.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They're having a pretty good year. So.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
It is very cool.
So then you got a ton of money. What are you going to do? I don't know. I'm going to buy a professional baseball.
You know what?
If you know anything about baseball? I do not.
If I had a ton of money, I would buy a professional sports team because it would just be so ironic that I don't know anything about sports.
No, we would not.
It's a lot of people. A lot of people buy stuff that they kind of don't have any business. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've seen people.
Why are you pointing at me?
No, I'm not.
Like a radio station.
I worked for a radio station in Northwest Wisconsin a long time ago. It's like, I think from 83 to 85, something like that. But the two owners, neither of them had any background in broadcast at all.
Were they bankers by chance?
No, one was a contractor and one had owned, it was in the name, one owned a Radio Shack franchise.
Well, close enough.
But seriously, it was the strangest couple of years of my life because I'm literally working for two people who
Deja vu, you are again now.
Yeah. Not much has changed in the industry. So, folks, if you could look behind the curtain, you'd be as stunned as I am every day.
Uh-huh. Well, Dan, thank you for that update, sir.
Yeah, let's see. Wait, what else is going on?
More.
Yeah, it was a huge day with a British invasion, if you want to go that route. 1962, this day, the very first James Bond film.
Oh.
Dr. No.
Okay.
And that, of course, was Sean Connery, the best James Bond ever.
I agree with you. I agree.
And the very first Bond girl, what came to be known as the Bond girl, Ursula Andress, who was, as a young man, I was... a
big fan.
I liked that film.
Nice.
No idea what the plot was. 1962, the Beatles released their very first record.
Nice.
What do you think it was? Their very first big record in the United States.
I know it, too. I can't think of what it is right now.
Love Me Do?
Love Me Do. Yeah, I knew the love was in there somewhere.
And in 1969, Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Oh, I love Monty Python.
Fires up on the BBC. So.
I
Those guys are
love
funny.
Monty Python to this day.
Yep.
She loves Monty Python, but does not like the Beatles. How does that make any sense?
They're two completely different things,
They're
John.
very
They're both
different.
British.
One's a comedy troupe, one's a band.
Very, very different.
Which is which, though? Huh?
Of course, I do laugh at their music, so...
Oh, it's like saying, well, she loves waffles, but she's just not into livers and onions. I don't understand.
You eat it all with your mouth and stuff. Well,
The
then,
mystery, John, she is a woman.
she's an enigma. All right. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxEmpireJobs.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I love to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, small, little snappy salute after the old
You sound sad
Well,
today.
pretty long
Pep in your
weekend.
step,
We had a lot going on. I don't know. I didn't see you two out there, but
No, we didn't go.
First and foremost, whoa, Heidi, whoa! Let's not skip a beat.
I almost forgot something.
Whoa, what are you kidding me? Consult script.
Yeah.
You know. Maybe you should eat some makeup so you can look that good on the inside too. All right, let's get crack-a-lacking here, little Radio Rangers, you little carpet crawling, crunching little demons. I'd really like to wholeheartedly thank everybody who came out for the first annual Ranger Dan Nocturnal Apple Pick-a-Palooza.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go.
Fired things up 11 p.m. Saturday night out there on Old Highway 115, conveniently located between Sioux Falls and Harrisburg. And got to tell you what, we were a little surprised. We didn't expect all the folks showing up there. Again, we got things rolling at 11 by about 11:30 or so. All the parking places were taken, so heck, we just left. We did what we needed to do, and not exactly sure how the whole night turned out. I do recall as we started rolling down 115 in the 2003 tan and rust colored AT Cruiser with the mini blinds and the Nebraska license plates. We did notice some Lincoln County troopers
No.
headed our way, and then coming from the north, some Minnehaha County sheriff's deputies.
I had a voicemail here for you. Is that what that's about?
Slowing down by the entry with it. Anyway, things went pretty well. We had more than 100 people show up. And the fact of the matter is, and really the entire purpose of a situation like this, the reason we make that effort to make sure people can get together and commune with nature. I call it nature because it's nature and it's neat. I put them together and say it with me.
Nature.
I managed to pocket a little over $3,000 Saturday night.
What did it cost to put on an event like that?
It costs, well, near carry the one, about $10.50.
That was for the balloon.
And corn nuts.
And corn nuts.
I got to tell you what, that $3,000 would be just enough to pay for that flat screen I got my eye on to put in the under construction, brand spanking new Ranger Dan Ice Fishing Condominium.
Whoa.
On a side note, this refresher did have a few inquiries. Merle and Karen Lindquist did make bail this morning.
Nice.
Keep in mind, Merle and Karen, no, the twins, Miles and Logan, did not toddle off into the middle of the night, and they should be out of juvenile detention center sometime this afternoon. So, good time was had by all. That's all the time we have today, little Radio Rangers. Till next time, this is Ranger Dan out. Say it with me.
Yes, sir.
Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by ServPro, Fire and Water Cleanup and Restoration.
Now, you know, Adam and Jessica and Melissa? Because
Good folks.
We got to meet them, what was it, April of 2000?
Oh, my gosh, we had a mess.
It would have been a nicer meeting if it would have been for something other than our
Under
ceiling
better
fell on our rest of our
conditions.
building.
Yeah.
Oh, it was destroyed our studio and offices and all.
Water leak.
And the three of us were just going,
And it's almost like that water hated Dan. It destroyed his computer and all,
All
of
of
his notes.
his stuff. Yeah.
My
wiped out
computer was
everything.
fine.
It destroyed my memoirs.
It did. It had
I had to give all that money back to my publisher.
But our friends at ServPro came in and they cleaned it up. It was amazing. They did such a great job.
Still has that new office smell. It was incredible. So
Yeah, it was great.
Here's the thing, providing expert duct cleaning and carpet cleaning.
Yeah.
And so I have to think if ServPro can do what they did for us,
Cleaned up ceiling tiles and
everything that
plaster.
needed to be done. This
Tiers.
carpet and duct cleaning thing is just
No-brainer.
got to be the best in the business. And in case you don't know it, your ducts, for instance, are carrying dust and pollen and dirt and debris and odors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your carpet, allergens, all kinds of things. ServPro can get it done in a snap, and they're going to remove everything that's affecting your environment. That's all there is to it. ServPro carpet and duct cleaning for a deep clean you can see. Call 213-3303. That's 213-3303. Serve Pro Fire and Water Restoration. 213-3303. Best in the biz.
I love that, and it rhymes.
This is interesting. You guys went through this, shortly after you bought the home you're in now. You had a little bat thing going on.
Oh,
Yes.
Nothing major. It wasn't like an infestation, but
Right.
you had a bat or two hanging around.
Right.
Or 4.
To take care of. I was a little surprised by this. I've owned two homes now in Sioux Falls. Both times in older neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I've never had a bat in the house. Never heard one in the attic. Never have. But here's some stats.
Bat stats?
Sioux Falls Animal Control this year has responded over 600 bat calls.
Whoa.
None of those for me, by the way.
It's a pretty high volume. According to Julia DeYoung, animal control supervisor, she says a lot of people don't realize how many bat calls we respond to every year. It's a lot. And she says why they may be a nuisance, they're normally not a danger. She says generally a bat in your home, not an emergency. It's not a huge priority because it's a mouse that's in your house.
Yeah.
It's a flying mouse
Well, yeah they can
that
fly.
nobody wants.
Open the door and tell them to leave.
They can fly. And in case you don't know, they are protected. You are not supposed to whack them.
Not supposed to
That
kill
many
them.
calls, they can't be that protected.
They can't be that limited.
Yeah, it's like they're everywhere.
I don't know what the reasoning is that
I don't either.
that
They
they
eat
are
mosquitoes.
protected. Oh, they're
Oh, they're-
fantastic.
I love having bats in our neighborhood. I'm just not a fan of having
Right,
bats in our
not in the
living room.
house.
They have
Agreed.
to live somewhere.
We should get a bat house.
Yeah, they sell them.
I
We should
wanna get
put
one
them
of
all
those.
over in the trees. So
Oh, that's
they've
right.
got
They do,
somewhere to
don't
go.
they?
Yeah.
They do. I think my only real experience with bats, I will never forget this. My dad was a lunatic, absolute lunatic. I was living with my father over in northeast Minneapolis, off 26th and Pierce. You probably don't know where that is, but it's an old, very established blue-collar neighborhood in northeast Minneapolis.
Does Mary live there?
Well, my Aunt Julie lived downstairs. And all of a sudden, yelling from the downstairs is Aunt Julie. My dad's name is Dan. Daniel, there's a bat down here. Get this bat. And my dad gets up off the couch. He doesn't run down the stairs. Not much could shake him. He goes into his bedroom. And I'm just sitting there going, I'm not sure what's happening here. Comes out of his bedroom. He was in the Army, okay? He's wearing a combat helmet. And he is strapped on a .22 revolver.
Oh, my.
And he's got a baseball bat.
Oh,
and he's just messing around. He's just getting, it was so hilarious. I go down the stairs to follow him because, there's no way this guy's opening up with his gun on this bat, not in the house.
No.
And he did. He took him out with a sheet pan. But it was a good swing.
Nice.
Yeah, if we were in a ballpark, it would have gone deep left.
If you happen to have bats, there are people who take care of that. Don't call the police. If you look them up, I could tell you who we worked with, but I'm not going to. You can find them on
As far
the
as
internet.
animal control goes, if you get bit by one, something like that, definitely call animal control.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's going to be other things you're going to have to do. So
Right.
Trade insurance cards, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, but so far this year, over 600 calls.
That's a lot.
That is.
Yeah. Dan, thank you for that update, sir.
I found it very riveting, John.
It was. It was riveting. Very riveting. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you once again by ServPro Fire and Water Restoration, 213-3303.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Time now for a bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. And we're going to brighten things up right now with a conversation with Brian, and he is with the MightyCorson Art Players. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. You guys have got a really fun program coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, The Taming. Tell me a little bit about The Taming.
Sure. So the Taming is a raucous political comedy farce where a Georgia beauty queen kidnaps somebody from the left and from the right and challenges them to rewrite a more perfect constitution.
Oh, very fun. Now, The Taming of the Shrew, people have heard of, and you told me ahead of time this is a little bit like that, but it's 'cause some other things mixed in too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it takes a little bit in terms of characters and personality traits from that show, but also with the beauty queen side of things and the political side of things. It's like a mix between Shakespeare and Drop Dead Gorgeous and any good political comedy. Every
seat in the house is a good seat, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have just a really great intimate atmosphere. It's homey, it's wonderful, and you're never ever too far away from anything that's happening.
And I'm looking online. MightyCorson.com is the place you go to find some tickets. And I see you've got shows coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, Friday the 16th, and then Saturday the 17th, Sunday the 18th. And then if that doesn't work, you go the next weekend, Friday the 23rd, Saturday the 24th, and Sunday the 25th. And there's not a ton of tickets available for any show because it's not a huge theater. So if people want to go, they should probably get their tickets right away, shouldn't they?
Absolutely. They can either go to our website, MightyCorson.com, or call our box office at 582-2771.
And you guys have quite a few people that help out with the Mighty Corson Art Players. Do you have some of the people that are in this performance? Do you know who some of the stars are of the performance?
Yeah, absolutely. We have two actors who are returning from previous shows that they've done with us. Emily Dykstra, who is amazing, and Autumn Danielson, who's a really great young talent coming up. And then we have somebody brand new to our place, and actually has spent a couple of years away from the theater and is coming back, and we are just truly blessed to have her, Kelsey Letty.
That's really cool. And if people listening would say, boy, I'd really kind of like to get involved in this, and I'd like to be a part of this in the future, how do they do that? How does somebody get involved in your future performances?
Oh, sure. So all of our future performances, we'll actually have audition dates coming up in the next 2 to 3 weeks for our winter show, which is going to be It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play. So that's coming up shortly. They can look for that on Facebook or just email us at info@mightycorson.com, and we'll be happy to get in touch and talk about absolutely everything that's coming up, because it's a lot.
Well, Brian, thank you again for taking the time to chat with us about the event. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Again, the show is called The Taming. It's not this weekend, but it is next weekend. It is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next weekend. Then it's also, again, the following weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you would like to get tickets, you can do that right now. Their website for the Mighty Corson Art Players is MightyCorson.com. This has been your Bright Spot of News, brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
And it's time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities are fabulous. You know, sometimes us mere mortals will sit around and go, you know, it's almost like celebrities get treated differently than we do.
Oh, they do.
You could just, that's not the case. We're all equal here in the United States of America. Let's brush over a little bit, recap a little bit. Lori Loughlin, Aunt Becky, as I'm sure you're aware at this point, got busted big time trying to grease the rails to get her
electric
daughters into school. Yeah, they're executing her on Tuesday of next week. This is what happened. So the sentence finally comes down, and she's got to serve a couple months. Right. Okay. And her husband's got to serve a couple months.
That we knew that.
Normally what happens is when people get charged, even if it's, if they're in this crime together, it's like, okay, you are sentenced, and it's concurrent. You're all going away right now. Bailiff, take them away.
Right.
Yeah.
No, in this instance, they're staggering it so one of the parents can be at home.
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
No,
it gets even better. Her attorneys and Lori requested that she can pick where she's going to be incarcerated.
Oh,
wow.
And the judge has okayed that.
Wow.
Judge Fruin, Lori Laughlin's case is okayed in the college admissions scandal. The Fuller House actress, who did plead guilty a month ago, has been greenlit from Judge Nathaniel M. Gorton to serve her 2-month sentence at Federal Correctional Institution in Victorville, California, because it's close to home.
Oh. I thought she for sure would choose the Dan Farris Home for Wayward Women. I
can only keep 3 people there at a time.
Oh, yeah, you're full right now?
Maybe. What'd you hear? And no, you can't drop over. But try to put yourself in that situation. You have been convicted of a crime.
Yeah.
You are sentenced to incarceration. Can you imagine you or one of your attorneys standing up and go, you know what, I prefer to stay here. Can I stay like in this one?
And I'd like to wait 2 months to do that.
Yeah.
The judge would gavel down, laugh, and send you on your way. But no, not.
Big fan
not
of
in
Aunt
these
Becky,
cases.
apparently.
It's just kind of weird, but I think this is why us mere mortals get frustrated.
Oh, we do get frustrated.
That's extremely
like
frustrating. And they don't need to stagger this day. They don't have small children.
Oh, they don't?
No.
They're
I thought
both
they had
in
kids
college.
at home.
They're college.
They're worthless daughters.
Yeah, but they're...
And by worthless, I mean that with all due respect.
And they're not smart enough to get into college, so they probably do need someone to look after them.
One of these girls, and I think she's 19, is a social media influencer.
Oh, hey, that's right. You were going to do that. How did that work out?
I was going to do it, but I can't even open an email.
Makes it a little
apparently
tough.
It's tougher than one would think.
Yeah, Dan, he's trying to do the social media thing. He hands me a photo, goes, here, I'm going to share this photo online. I'm like, you printed it out. That's not how you share it. I just wanted to share it with you, and then I'm going to share it with some other people later.
I'm going to drive around with it hanging out my window.
Check out my wall. Yeah, that's nice, Dan.
Whatever, I get by.
Actually, you know what? You do really well. And thank you very much for the entertainment news.
Absolutely.
Just want to point out, we always start this program with these two snapping their little right and left hands. I think the reason you keep doing that is because I can only snap one. Is that why we still do that? Why do we even?
It's kind of fun to torture you. We really enjoy it.
They're pointing out my major flaw.
Yeah,
Biggest flaw I have. I can't snap my left hand.
That's a one snapper wonder, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the update, sir. You have a great day.
My pleasure. Hey, thanks, you guys. See you soon.
And you are listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxEmpireJobs.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, October 5th, 2020. The equity markets ended the first up week in 5 on a sour note, falling across the board after traders learned that President Trump has COVID-19. The news may alter the course of the election, but was widely shrugged off. Although the indices fell for the day on Friday, they closed well off the lows, highlighting an underlying market resilience. On the flip side, it looks like the House Majority Leader Nancy Pelosi and Secretary of the Treasury Steve Mnuchin are getting closer to a deal. While there are still hurdles to cross, a late Friday press conference from Pelosi inspired no small amount of confidence. The deal would include another round of stimulus payments, as well as industry and state-specific aid. If passed, the news could trump all else and send the S&P 500 to a new high. This next week could be tough for the market. There's very little in earnings or economic news on the calendar. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com.